Sports Clinic. And for 34 of those years, we have Rich Tucker, who has come here for more than 3 decades as a sponsor. And I want to know, Rich, how did you get involved in the Winter Sports Clinic?
I was involved through an association we had in the pharmaceutical industry that focused on the government and military, which was AMSIS. And one of our members heard about the clinic being formed and suggested that if we had any interest in looking into sponsorship, that we should take the opportunity to go out to Snowmass Village and evaluate the clinic. So 4 of us flew out from different companies, spent the week out here, and the experience was mind-blowing.
I've been hearing that all week.
It is. I mean, I'm not overstating, probably understating, but from the beginning, I thought, geez, where could you go to spend your money in a worthy place? And if you think about business, the return on investment, this clinic, the return on investment is unbelievable compared to other going to a convention and running a convention. And what do you get out of the convention? And, it's still questionable. But as a result of my trip out, I did go to our CEO, who was a former Marine, and told him all about it and suggested that we would consider that. And before I left his office, I had a commitment for the gold medal sponsorship. And that was the beginning. And the 4 of us went to our respective companies, and we all ended up with being sponsors.
Wow.
But more importantly, because all 4 of us were part of the military surgeons in the United States, we came back to our quarterly meetings and started to educate and inform all the other representatives of the opportunities. And the next year, not only the 4 of us came out, but there were 12. And we formed like a little team, for lack of it, crossing barriers from one industry to another or one company to another. And every quarter we would talk about the clinic. And the DAV came to our meeting and actually set up a questioning table, and started recruiting volunteer sponsors. And from that point, it really made a difference. And we never looked back.
Yeah, definitely. And I never look back. It has only snowballed from there. How have you seen the clinic evolve in these 34 years?
Oh, the first one I thought was fantastic. I don't know how it could ever change. But every year, the number of volunteers that came up, the amount of adaptive sports instructors coming, the number of veterans coming, it just grew as far as the volume of the clinic. But more importantly, it became aware to all of us by seeing the veterans when they came in the very first day, and how timid they were about ever thinking about going up on a mountain or skiing or rock climbing or swimming. It was unbelievable how it changed between Monday and Friday. Friday, all you saw were smiles. And at the closing ceremony, it was so uplifting.
Yeah, and I mean, so we're here in Basalt, Colorado, which is about 12 miles away from Snowmass, and we're here for fly fishing, if you guys haven't figured that out already. And the fish are definitely biting. And you actually bring your family out here. First of all, I should mention that you're a proud Navy veteran as well. You bring your family out here, and I've had an opportunity to talk to your son Ryan, Katie a little bit, your daughter, and your granddaughter Amelia. 3 generations of Tuckers out here, and they've grown up with the clinic. And I know Ryan talked about how the first time he came to the clinic when he was about 7, that it was the first time that he's ever seen people with amputated legs, or that were in a wheelchair, or really spent a lot of time with them. And he said that kind of set in motion the fact that it shined a light on the fact that there are people with differences here in this world, and that what we're doing here and what you have done as a sponsor is help overcome some of those challenges. And I just, we can't thank you enough. And what does that mean to you as a father to hear that?
Oh, I'm so proud of the kids, like any father would be. But they have been very open about talking about what they got out of the clinic. And my children, I'm paraphrasing, have said, they can go to a grocery store or a mall, and they'll see somebody with a disability, maybe in a chair or in crutches, or even walking with an amputee walking. And a lot of the people and children happen to stare because they don't understand what was going on. Not being malicious,
Right,
but
right.
just didn't know. And they felt so good that they knew all these veterans. And after the first time they were there, they knew practically everybody that was a participant. And it was very valuable for them from a growth point of view. But then after the first year, they said, we want to go back.
Yeah, awesome.
And instead of going on a vacation per se, we planned to come to the clinic year after year. And fortunately enough, we were able to do that. And today, like you said, now the third generation, I've got another 8-year-old. The first two were 7 and 9, so she's right in the middle.
Well, she's going to be growing up with this clinic, maybe. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, they're talking already about coming back next year as well. They make friendships that last a lifetime.
Absolutely. Yeah, all the participants here, and even the employees who are here with the VA, which we co-present this event every year with the Department of Veterans Affairs, could not happen without them. And my last question here, Rich, is maybe someone out there is a company or an organization, and they're thinking about donating to the Winter Sports Clinic. Why should they?
I think from a community perspective or a philanthropic position, I don't think you could invest in anything that would return an investment than to take the opportunity to join as a sponsor. If you look at your return investment, you come out here and spend the time at the clinic and look around, and you'll see the returns.
It's priceless.
It is absolutely priceless.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rich, for being with me. And make sure you're following along at hashtag Winter Sports Clinic across all social media. You can also check out Sports for Vets. That's sports, the number 4 vets. Just go ahead and Google that. They'll bring you to VA's Adaptive Sports website. Thanks a lot. I'm Matt Sansing, and I'm going to go see if I can go fishing.